Life in the Fastlane! Hey, what's up, YouTube? You're watching Ring Rants! And this is our prediction video for Fastlane main event. It's between Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar for the #1 contender against Triple H at Wrestlemania for the title. What are your thoughts?
Alright, I'm going to lay out the cards right now.
We have no cards to lay out.
Alright, imagine. Use your imagination.
The magic cards?
At home. Yeah. Your imagination at home. So, here's what happens. Lesnar's dominating. Wyatt's come out.
Woo!
Screw Lesnar out. Of course. Sets up Bray Wyatt versus Lesnar.
Yes.
Comes down to Ambrose and Reigns. Everyone's thinking Reigns. Reigns gets his rematch against Triple H. Reigns going to win the title at WrestleMania. Nope. Dean Ambrose, small package, picks up the win. We get Dean Ambrose.
Wow, that's a bold prediction right
Dean
there.
Ambrose versus Triple H for the title at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns will not be happy. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
If Ambrose wins, do you think he and Reigns turn on each other?
I think what happens, and a lot of speculation, is Roman Reigns is the heel after this. I think Roman Reigns, the story will be he's pushed to his wit's end. He can't get past the Authority. He can't get back into the title hunt. So he loses it. And he becomes a heel, which works off the fact that he can't really stay over with the fans. Like, when he won the title, he got cheered pretty well. And then obviously he lost it to Sheamus right after. And then when he won it that night in Philadelphia on Raw, was definitely the pinnacle of his popularity as far as, this past couple of years. But then it's kind of slowly started tapering off. I don't know if WWE is convinced that he's the guy anymore. I think if they were convinced he was the guy, they would have had him win at the Rumble, and then just do a #1 contenders match at Fastlane to go against Roman Reigns. If you really believed in the guy.
Do you think that Roman Reigns would become a Paul Heyman guy?
I don't think he's going to be a Paul Heyman guy. I think as a heel, I think he'll be good enough on his own because he can use the fact that the fans never really got behind him. He can throw that back at the fans. He's like, I tried to, be, the best for you guys. I tried to make you guys happy. I came out and wrestled for you, and you guys booed me. So, screw you guys.
Right.
I'm out on my own. I'm out for myself.
I thought you said in the past, though, that the fans were really getting behind him.
They were, but as we've seen the last couple of months, they're starting to taper out a little bit. WWE can't find a way to convince the fans to stay behind Roman Reigns. He still has fans. People still cheer him. He's still a big enough, face, but he hasn't taken that next step forward.
I think the WWE, they do everything within their power to get the crowd to root for Reigns.
They've certainly tried.
But then that backfires.
Yeah, because
for the most part.
Because I don't think it truly works. I think whatever the case may be, he's a very curious case. Like, he has looks. He has the look of a wrestler. He has the look of someone that
intensity
that you would want to push as like a top guy.
And he's the cousin of The Rock.
Yeah. So he has all these factors going for him, and he still is popular, but I don't think he's taken that next step in his popularity. I think WWE is probably just saying to themselves, hey, he's already getting booed. Let's use that to our advantage. If he turns on Ambrose and has a complete, 180 with his character, he'll get instant heel heat. Like, it's not even a question in my mind. So you can have a really good heel in Roman Reigns, in my opinion.
What are your thoughts, Jess?
Yeah, that's a really crazy prediction, and I would love to see that. I think it's the believer and the underdog in me that wants to say Reigns will come out on top this time. I mean, he's done so much hard work to try to prove to us that he's the guy. And through some things that have been his fault and have not been, he just hasn't clung on to that title picture, and it would just add that much more of an exciting element if he was able to go against Triple H again and beat him.
Yeah.
Who's the bigger underdog in your opinion, though? Ambrose or Reigns?
I think Ambrose. Just because you're looking at the size of Lesnar. Obviously, he's the favorite. And then Roman Reigns having all this kind of momentum. You would think that the logical pick would be Roman Reigns. Ambrose is kind of just thrown in there because, hey, he's probably one of the most popular wrestlers right now. I think it would make sense.
I think also, here's another thing. They just had Ambrose drop the IC title on Raw. Why would they have him drop it if they didn't have a bigger plan for him?
Exactly. You make him lose that secondary title to hopefully, get him into a better title. Yeah, that's a move that WWE has done.
For the storyline purposes, wouldn't they want to have Roman Reigns win since he took out Triple H at TLC or whatever pay-per-view it was last, or Survivor Series? When was that last pay-per-view?
Yeah.
They took out Triple H.
Yeah, at the end of last year.
Yeah, and then Triple H wasn't seen for a while. Then he came back at the Rumble and won the title off Roman Reigns. So you would think that for storyline purposes, that we would want to see Roman Reigns versus Triple H, and then the whole thing with McMahon. When he attacked McMahon, Triple H still has to get revenge for that aspect. And then when he threw Vince into Stephanie, or something happened like that, Stephanie was in the middle of everything. So Triple H is fighting for his family too, his family's honor and the authority and all that.
Yeah. And Reigns is doing the same thing, and when you think about it, it would be...
And that's why Paul Heyman was talking about, you're fighting for your family and everything too, and he's like, and you're gonna fail or something.
Total side note, that was the best in recent memory promo that Paul Heyman has done.
Oh yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
He's awesome.
He was just incredible.
Here's the thing. As long as Brock Lesnar doesn't win, I'm happy. Because the thing is that, yes, he's a beast. Yes, he's an attraction. But he's not on TV every single week. And if he wins, he's not going to be defending that title every pay-per-view event. And it just takes away from it, in my opinion. And I get it. Some people may think, okay, it doesn't always need to be defended. It just makes it extra special when it is defended. But
those people are wrong.
But when I watch a pay-per-view event, I want to see that title defended.
Yeah.
All the time.
But
so
even when Triple H won the title, he hasn't been on TV except for right after the Rumble when he had the title and everything. Rest of the time, you've been seeing Stephanie setting up the match. You haven't seen Triple H do any promos or anything.
Well, that's why I'm saying that this is more of a transition piece, for someone else being champion. I don't see Triple H making it out of WrestleMania as the champion.
And plus, Brock Lesnar doesn't need to win you over with the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess you could say the same thing for Reigns and Ambrose. Well, maybe not so much Reigns, but I guess you could say the same for Ambrose. But still, I'd be okay with Reigns winning, but it would be amazing if Ambrose won. I think it would be a really great match. And one thing's for certain, Lesnar is not going to be the one who gets pinned.
No,
I can't see Lesnar getting pinned.
I'd love to see it.
That would be awesome, but I can't see it happening.
Especially if it's, if I'm saying Dean Ambrose wins, I'd love to see it where Ambrose gets the pin on Lesnar. Maybe after, Reigns does like a big move to him, maybe after he spears him a couple times. Like Ambrose comes in, sneaks in, steals the pin, like just like surprises out of nowhere, and then Roman loses it and starts beating the crap out of Dean.
What are the chances you think, on a scale from 1 to 10, that the Wyatt family interferes with the match?
Oh, like
most definitely,
like an 8, 9.
like a 9. I say 9 out of 10.
I think
there's the slightest chance that they don't, but I think it's a foregone.
I think it's really plausible, just because oftentimes in big matches, in big spots, you see Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family interfere and screw people over. So as much as I don't want Brock Lesnar to win the title, and I'd be happy in this case if the Wyatt family interferes, at the same time, overall, I'm just really annoyed when they do interfere. But in this case, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, let's recap. He did it to Ambrose and Rollins. He did it to Roman Reigns. And now there's the potential, he did it to Undertaker towards the end, at the end of his match. And then now, more than likely, probably doing it to Brock Lesnar. So, that's kind of just Bray Wyatt's thing at this point.
Yeah.
Just insert himself in any random thing and,
I'm for it, obviously.
I'm for it, just it gets Brock Lesnar off the title.
Now, is there any possible way the match ends in a DQ?
Oh, my God, I hope
No,
not.
there's no DQ
Please
because
don't.
it's a triple threat.
Let it end clean.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, okay.
So
but what if it ended somehow like that? What would happen?
No, because they could help. The Wyatts would help to take someone out of the triple threat.
Yeah, and then it would just come down to, one-on-one, would come down to Reigns versus Ambrose.
Because then the Brotherhood's over between those two.
Or at least temporarily.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shed some tears.
I think
that's gotta
really
be,
beautiful.
that is gonna be kind
I
of
think
sad.
that tease on Raw where Ambrose almost
Tried to do the
turned
dirty
on
tease.
Reigns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I think that was more, not so much like a turn, but it was more of that whole, one-upmanship that you saw it years ago with Stone Cold and The Rock when they were going to face off for the second time at a WrestleMania. They would, for 2 or 3 weeks, a little history lesson for you young kids.
Just going to drop some knowledge.
Dropping some history. For the couple weeks leading up to that WrestleMania, I believe it was WrestleMania
18.
X7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the WrestleMania after WrestleMania 2000, so 2001.
Oh, okay.
For the weeks leading up to it, every show they would have either it end with Stone Cold stunnering The Rock or The Rock getting a rock bottom on Austin. And it started out being a pattern, like one night one would do it and the next night the other one would do their finisher. But then it became unpredictable. You didn't know who will get the last move in. So, The Rock would be fighting someone, Stone Cold comes out, The Rock hits Stone Cold with something, Rock mixes it up with another guy, and then Stone Cold gets the final move. So it was, really exciting. That's what I kind of compare it to, because they weren't really turning heel or face on each other. It was just more of hey, I can get you. You got to watch out, watch your back.
Right.
So that's what I saw it as. Not so much, let's tease Ambrose turning heel. It's just, this is something bigger than their friendship, so they have to, separate the friend stuff.
One of them is going to have to turn heel eventually, because we don't really have any big heel outside of the Authority. You got, the League of Nations, but what have they done that's made an impact?
Nothing?
They had that one big thing with Sheamus. That was it.
Yeah.
So
And
you'd think, okay, we got to get a fan favorite to turn heel and, and
that's
shock
why
everybody.
That's why I'm saying Roman Reigns. I think, again, you play off how he's getting booed. You play off how the fans still can't stay solid behind him. And Ambrose is the most significant one. He's the
most over guy right now.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying give it to Roman. You'll have a great heel with him. He can, and it will also work with his, promo skills, because now he can throw it back at the fans. He doesn't have to come up with the witty kind of good guy catchphrases and all that stuff. His promos can be more, I was doing this stuff for you, and now you all suck.
Here's the thing. Even though that would be the most logical thing, is to have Reigns turn heel. We've been saying this for years now in the WWE. keeps him a face.
Well-
and so as much as it would make most sense to turn him heel, I don't know if they would necessarily pull the trigger.
The times that Ambrose and Reigns were together, there's always that rumor that one of them would turn heel. But now I think there's a stronger sense that that's a possibility because, A, we don't have a big-time heel. Like, our biggest heel is
Kevin
the
Owens?
Authority. I mean,
Well, outside the
The
Authority.
Wyatts are heels.
Yeah, but we don't have, like, that main event heel,
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
Owens at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like right now.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't have anyone other than the Authority. So, if they want, they want to start building towards that, you gotta turn one of these guys, and I think Reigns would be the better one, just because it sticks it to the fans that were cheering for him. Now they'll boo him, and then it just gives the fans that were already booing him more incentive to boo him.
Or
True.
what if the Wyatt family attack Roman and you get Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose one-on-one?
Then,
Well, the Wyatts did have a thing there for a while with Reigns, and then it just kind of fizzled.
He's Roman Reigns.
But they also had a thing with Lesnar a few weeks ago, too.
Bray Wyatt said to Roman Reigns, he said, "We will meet again." So you never know.
Yeah.
There's all these
That could
different
be.
possibilities. You never
A few
know
weeks
what the
ago,
Wyatts
remember,
are
didn't the
gonna do.
Wyatts pin Lesnar?
They didn't pin him, but they attacked him.
Or they attacked-
They attacked him. Yeah, they ended Raw with
And
attacking
they attacked him
so.
in the Rumbles.
I think they're done with the Wyatts and Roman Reigns thing. Like they're not. The Wyatts will be involved because of Lesnar, and then it sets
Did
up,
they ever attack Ambrose?
Yeah.
like
At some point, I'm sure. But I mean, recently?
When? Not that I know of. No. They had their feud. They've moved on from
Yeah.
Ambrose and Reigns to now Lesnar, so there's no need to revisit
Yeah.
that.
All right, so who do you guys think's going to win?
I have
And
to
how?
preface this by saying, oh my god, I love both Ambrose and Reigns, and it's so hard. It's so difficult to pick because I want to see Ambrose have a title, make it his own, hold it for a while, and especially against all the odds of having your best friend come out at you for it. Like, that would be really exciting, but I'm gonna root for Reigns in this one. Just because of the storyline, and it, like Timmy said, might make more sense for the WrestleMania picture. So, Reigns is my pick.
Yeah, and I could definitely see continuing with that storyline. That would be, that would make sense in WWE's mind, because that's supposedly the payoff is Roman Reigns wins it back. I just don't know. I think it's very curious that they have Ambrose drop the title, the Intercontinental title. It's also very curious that they had him and Triple H being the last ones in the Rumble. Like, if you really wanted to put over Roman Reigns and Triple H, you probably tease it a little bit at the Rumble. You have those be the final two. I think WWE saw the reaction that Ambrose got at the Rumble when people thought, like, he could win. Like, we were flipping out. That's what they want. They
But he
want.
got
It's
so
also...
They want that reaction for when a face wins. When Roman Reigns wins a match, no one really flips.
And also, it's very curious that they had him just all of a sudden drop the IC title.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. So that's why I'm going to say Ambrose wins. The Wyatts take out Brock Lesnar. I think that's, again, almost a foregone
I can see that
conclusion.
possibly happening.
You're going to get a good back and forth between Ambrose and Reigns. I think it's a situation where Reigns makes a mistake and Ambrose capitalizes, hits his move.
He goes for the spear and gets caught in the dirty deeds.
Yeah, or like the small package, like just continuing with that gag. A perfectly executed small package works every
Do you
time.
think Triple H interferes at all, too?
He doesn't need to.
He'll
There's
stay out of it.
there's no need to it. No need for it because he feels like he can beat any one of those three. So there's no need to have him out there. Maybe just to watch and be like, oh
Scare them and-
I'll see you at Mania. But to interfere in the match, no, hell no, stay away.
So you're going with...
Ambrose.
Okay. I'm okay with Reigns winning it. It would be amazing if Ambrose wins it, and I think it would make the most sense if Ambrose wins it. But for some weird reason,
Don't say it.
I think they're going to have Lesnar win it. I don't want Lesnar to win it, but I just got a feeling they're going to have Lesnar to win it. I don't know if it really makes much sense from a storyline standpoint,
Rock back and forth.
But imagine Brock
Rock back
Lesnar
and
versus
forth.
Triple H at WrestleMania.
Yeah, we saw that. It didn't work out very well.
I don't want it to happen, but I got a feeling he's going to win it. What are your thoughts?
I'm going with Roman Reigns, like I said, for the storyline purposes. And we really never have seen Roman Reigns versus Triple H one-on-one in a full match. And for booking purposes, that's how I would book it. And that's for the WrestleMania moment. You know, give Roman Reigns that WrestleMania moment, give him that push.
But but if he gets that moment, do the fans give him the kind of face reaction that WWE wants? Like,
Hopefully.
but you just got to go off on the reaction he's getting. Think back to past WrestleManias where the good guys, the faces, won. Not too long ago, Daniel Bryan, he won. Place went nuts. You know, that's the reaction you want.
Do you think the place would go nuts for Lesnar?
Yeah.
To some degree?
They would. There's those fans that like him, so yeah, they would probably get a good reaction. But you can just tell as a wrestling fan what's a true WrestleMania reaction versus just a normal reaction.
I would want Dean Ambrose, but as a prediction, I would say that would be Roman Reigns.
Yeah. So that's just my.
I think.
But hey, I would like to see Dean Ambrose. Like when we thought he won it a few pay-per-views back, we were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
Did he actually win it?
And again, the crowd.
That's what they
the
want to
reaction.
capture.
I think,
that moment.
So,
I think if Lesnar wins, that's the only way for both Reigns and Ambrose to save face. Do you think so?
Possibly, you could do something where one of them says, "Oh, you know, we lost because of you," or like, I don't know. You could spin it a certain way and get those two to fight each other. You know, oh, I lost my match because of you. I could have beaten Brock Lesnar, but you got in the way. So they could turn that into, you know, one of them's heel, one of them's face.
Also, I think possibly, at least initially in the match, Reigns and Ambrose, they're just going to team up on Lesnar and wear him down. But then eventually they're going to be like, okay,
yeah,
let's fight.
They will fight each other.
Reluctantly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not reluctantly.
Because
But
I'm getting bored with the whole Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns. Like, we're going to team up all the time. Like, actually, I want to, like how when Seth Rollins went on his own, I want to see these two actually go on their own, do their own thing.
that'd be cool.
Then eventually, all three will have to have a common enemy where they all have to have a reunion
That'd be awesome.
in a few years.
I could see that happening.
So,
I think we're just biased because we're all Shield fans.
Yeah.
So it seems like we got a split here. We got 2 for Reigns, 1 for
You're
Ambrose,
just
1
the
for Lesnar.
outlier. You're just the weirdo.
you're picking,
We're picking them.
You're picking Roman Reigns. I mean, you picked Brock Lesnar, so you'll probably be right. Like you're always right about Sheamus.
I hope. I don't want to be right for the record. I do not want to be right.
If Sheamus was in the match,
You
probably
pick
pick him,
Sheamus, and then
you would probably win.
Probably.
Always play the Sheamus card.
Yeah.
The whitest card.
Well, you know, he's going to be in a Ninja Turtles movie, so why not?
Alright.
Anyways, so thanks for watching. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with me? Agree with him? Agree with her? Agree with him?
Agree with me, because I'm always right.
So
Except
that
when you're
means
not.
I'm always right, too.
I'm right.
Let us know your thoughts. Follow us on social media. We're everywhere. And
It's you.
any last thoughts?
I can't take full credit for my prediction, by the way. Check out What Culture Wrestling on YouTube. Adam from that YouTube channel. He came up with the idea of Roman being heel and then Ambrose facing Triple H. So, I mean, I had that kind of thought going into it, but then he made a great how he would book a WrestleMania video.
He does amazing videos.
Yeah,
Check
so-
him out.
Yeah, definitely. But
After you check us out, that is.
Yeah. So I can't take full credit for it, but that's what I'd like to see.
The whole Wyatt thing, I definitely see that coming. That's my own thought.
No.
Because
Any
they're
last
cheap
thoughts,
like
Jess?
that. No, not really. It'll be a good match for sure. The match of the night, so.
Even if this is like the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania, and there's nothing in March besides that live special that they're doing from Montreal, and there's been like little build-up on this pay-per-view as it is. They really got to set up WrestleMania this year since everyone's injured. So you got to push the guys you have now, make them look really good, make Roman look strong, I guess, but anyone but you, Roman, even though I picked him. So
If you're going to NXT this weekend in Albany, have a good time. We'll be there.
yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya. See ya.
Okay, you said see ya.
Okay.
Bye.